we tend to say, I can't do it. I don't know how to do that. That's for somebody else. And I don't think like that. How's it going, y'all? Welcome back to the Gil Podcast. This podcast is about me, Gil, and the things that I'm currently obsessed with. Life is like an RPG. I've always had that thought. And it turns out like me listening to my wife come back to me, oh my gosh, there's this TikTok person who came out with this cool theory. I'm like, I had that theory as a kid. And I've been thinking that for years. Anyways, my wife was talking about this TikTok theory. It's not a TikTok theory, it's just somebody making a TikTok about, oh, you should live your life like a video game and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I already do that. I quite literally treat every encounter, everything that I do as if it's like an RPG. Now you probably listen to this podcast and like, well, Gil, what the hell is an RPG? An RPG is a role-playing game. The best way I could explain it is, if you're not familiar, is Dungeons and Dragons. See, with the Dungeons and Dragons game, for those of you who are probably watching Stranger Things, I didn't care for the last season. The show took too long to come out. I don't even care anymore. That's how I am with Stranger Things. Like I don't care anymore. But for those of you who are watching Stranger Things, you've probably seen them play Dungeons and Dragons. Now each person has their own character. Each character has their own traits. They have their strengths, their weaknesses, dexterity, all that, mana, health, everything. But the thing is, you can always make it better by having experience. So once you level up after getting certain amounts of experience, you can now put in points that you've gained through leveling up into different traits. So let's say you're training, you're fighting dragons in this game, and you level up. You have 5 points to put into your traits. You decide you could put 5 points directly into your health to make your health more better. You can put 2 points into your defense, and then like 3 points in your health. You can put 1 point in speed and 4 in whatever. And you're like, well, how does that equate to like real life? I mean, real life, you're always leveling up. You're always learning. You're always growing as a person. You're always advancing. And in my life, more particularly, I mean, I can only speak for me, and I can only speak for the people that I know, because I see that all the time. I see my friends growing consistently. Like I have friends who started podcasts and they start recording. They start recording audio only because they are a little bit shy about being in front of the camera. Start recording more podcasts and start opening up and warming up to getting in front of a camera. They get in front of the camera, they suck because they have no visual presence. They don't understand how to light. They don't understand how cameras work with their they don't understand how cameras work. So they end up sucking really, really bad, but they don't give up. They don't give up. Why did I say don't? They don't give up, and they continue and they press on. Next thing you know, they're getting really good, to the point where I'm like, wow, I want to hire you to like film me. They leveled up essentially, and they put the points accordingly to where they want to be in life, or whatever journey they're trying to go to. And in an RPG, you have missions, you have side missions, and life is the same thing. I always feel like our missions can deviate, just like in an actual RPG. You can take wherever you want to go. Like in an open world game like Skyrim, there's an overarching goal. There's an overarching mission, but there are like a plethora of different avenues you can go to get there. There are side missions. There are things you can take care of. And in the world of RPGs, there are NPCs. And an NPC is a non-playable character. And you've probably heard somebody say like, oh, there's a bunch of NPCs in here. It's a derogatory term simply because it means that this person isn't real. This person just goes. So my definition of NPC is somebody who doesn't outwardly have a goal. Outwardly. The thing is, everybody has a goal, maybe. I didn't want to be mean. Let me just be honest. To me, an NPC is somebody who just sits at home all day, doesn't do anything, doesn't plan on doing anything, is set and comfortable where they are in life. And there are a lot of NPCs out there. There are people who have that one routine: go into work, go home, play video games, talk with their wife, play with their kids, and they could be completely happy. Some of them are really happy and content. Some of them strive to get there. Some of them, that's their mission. Their mission was to work hard in their 20s and 30s, or work hard in their 20s and then settle in their 30s, or work hard in their 30s and then settle the family in their 40s. No goals, no ambitions, no nothing. And that's perfectly fine. And they've bust their butt. I'm not saying you have to bust your butt. I mean, I'm gonna get on that later, about toxic traits. But some people worked hard to not do anything. And I get it. My wife all the time says, I'm like, come on, babe, let's go out. Let's there's a new event opening up. There's a flower garden or whatever the case is nearby. Let's go check it out. I didn't buy this house so I can leave. Like, we worked so hard to purchase this home. Why the heck would I want to not be here? And that makes so much sense when she said that way. I was like, that's so true. That makes sense. You work hard for something and you strive for it. You want to be there where it's at, which is most people's cases, family. Some people have their cars and they just want to sit and drive their cars all day, which is totally fine because that was their mission. That was their goal. Maybe it could be in their side mission. They just kind of just settled for that, but they worked for that. It's, I remember, man, my wife, she has a lot of goals, a lot of missions that I've seen her embark on. And it's been great to see. And I have a lot of friends who have dreams, goals, and ambitions that they've set on. And it's amazing to see them just go through something and they go beyond it and go further. It's amazing. So one of my most recent RPG-esque experience is cycling. So I picked up the bike again and I started riding more. It's been a while, not actually a while. It's been a couple months and that I haven't been riding my bike. And I've been noticing a little bit sluggishness as far as like my cardio and my everyday life. I put on some pounds as well. So when I got back on my bike, I started riding with my friend, and it's been good. It's been okay. I've been trying to keep up, but obviously I'm not where I used to be. So I started riding with a bike group, and this bike group is really good. This bike group is really, really good. And the first time I rode with them, it was not the best night. I mean, I almost feel like my friend set me up, because I wouldn't say he set me up, but it was more like, yo, like out of all the nights you want me to ride, and I haven't been riding for like a couple months, you want me to ride with this fast group, and it was a fairly decent, steady pace. I mean, I haven't been riding for a while, so the speed was around like 20-ish, 21, 22 miles an hour, which is pretty slow-ish. But if you haven't been riding for a while, it's kind of hard to get back into a swing of things, if that makes sense. So I'm keeping up, and my body is just telling me, dude, we don't got it. But I didn't give up. I didn't want to stop. We ended up riding for 20-ish miles. So it was like an hour ride, maybe like an hour and 15 minutes, because we stopped for a little bit to grab drinks. But after that, I decided I have to get better. So I started riding again. A little bit, a couple of days after that ride it again, a little bit more. Now I ride every Thursday to just get back into the swing of things. And I'm getting a lot better. I'm getting close to where I was, which is great. And I'm treating it like an RPG. I'm getting armor, which is like biking gear to make my biking experience a little bit better. I got new cleats, the little plate to hook my shoes into the bike to make them stay. I don't know. Life is like an RPG. It depends on how you look at everything too. So somebody can probably look at that biking experience and feel embarrassed, or they can feel as if they will never get better. Whereas me, I've always had the idea that I'm gonna look at somebody else. Well, if they can do it, why can't I? That's just me. It's a very arrogant, I guess it's very arrogant and prideful, I guess, in a way. Because I know I can do better. I know I am a great, I know I'm a great ass person. I know I'm a supreme dope person who is capable of a lot of things besides doing math. You see how that goes? Math is great, but not. But I know I'm capable of doing amazing things. So when I see somebody else doing something great, something cool, something interesting, I'm like, great, I'll do it. Like my work career, the thing that I do for a living is something that I have never thought that I would be able to do. I'm a forklift mechanic, and I work on forklifts. I work on golf carts, anything industrial machinery, which is pretty cool. A couple of years ago, I would never have dreamed of doing this. But the opportunity came, and I said, why not? Why not try this out? Why not put my name in there and see what happens? And then once I get in there, why not give this my complete attention, my complete, I just gave it my all. And I did not allow self-doubt to get in the way, because a lot of times we doubt ourselves. A lot of times we tend to say, I can't do it. I don't know how to do that. That's for somebody else. And I don't think like that. I always treat life like an RPG. I'm not at that level yet, but you can. The thing about like looking at life like an RPG is just that the restrictions are labeled. You can only enter this dungeon if you are level 16 and have this sword. You can only enter this dungeon if you are a mage at level 20. So become a mage if you want to do this dungeon. If you want to beat this boss, get this. Try and try again. It's super annoying, because it's like, I'll see something, I can do that. I'll do it. One of my favorite comedians, Andrew Schultz, on this podcast, he always says this, he could do heart surgery. it's not that he can't do, it's not that he can do heart surgery. It's the belief that he can. And I've always shared that belief. Like, I feel like I can do anything. I feel like I can quite literally do any and everything. And it is the most heaviest burden because I want to do everything. I want to learn as much as I can. I don't know why. I mean, I always joke about, learning as much as I can. So when the zombie apocalypse comes, I can do everything. And that's also another secret. I just kind of want to be prepared. So when something does arise, I have the right skill sets to survive, take care of my family, which is like an RPG-esque. I'm training for something that hasn't happened yet. And in RPGs and role-playing games like Skyrim, you're training for things that you haven't seen yet, but you know that are coming. You're training for a boss. You're training for a dungeon. And that's how I treat life. I'm always training. I'm always learning and growing because I don't know what's around the corner. It could be danger. So, all right, y'all. Hope y'all enjoy this video game rant that is probably not going to resonate with a lot of people. And I kind of felt like I was blabbing for a while. Thank y'all so much for watching, listening. If you guys want more, be sure to check out my other episodes and check out Tribe of Sunflowers. It's a great organization ran by my friend Deanna Williams, like I said. And yeah, love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, listening, however you consume this content. Let me know how y'all feel about this this episode. It was just something that was on my mind. Does it make sense? Did I explain it correctly? Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you care? Let me know if you guys care. Thank you so much. Peace.